Welcome to the Mind Body Business Show. The 3 keys to your success is just moments away. Here's your host, Brian Kelly.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mind Body Business Show. I am so excited. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have an amazing guest expert on tonight. I have met this magnificent woman on 2 separate occasions and experienced what she has to offer you firsthand. And all I can tell you is it was magical, amazing. And we're going to get into what it is this amazing woman provides for a lot of people, corporations, teens, adults, families. Amazing. The results are just off the charts. And for me, it came to mindset. It really ingrained into my mind some wonderful things. And I'm not going to give away the farm because we want to learn it from her. And her name, you love her, Terilynn Werner. Cannot wait. Oh, I'm excited. We are going to soar to new heights tonight. There was a hint there. And success. This show is about showing you how to model, how to learn, to follow successful people, because it's that simple. People make it too hard. They want to make it too hard. I used to try to make it too hard. What I found in my now almost 55 years on this planet, birthday is this month, just saying, that when I followed those people that were successful versus, hanging out and learning from those who may not be where I want to be, I only followed people that were successful at a certain point in my life and began noticing patterns. I said, what makes them tick? What makes them different? Why are they successful and I'm not? Well, I began to find patterns developing, and those patterns usually bubbled up into 3 primary categories, which you may guess, that is of mind, body, and business. Mind is mindset, and typically I like to go into the subconscious level, but it's really both, the conscious and subconscious levels, that most successful people have developed a very rock-solid, positive, empowering mindset, and they keep it that way. They're human, and things happen, but with this rock-solid mindset, all reprogrammed in their brain, they have a much easier path towards success. And then there's body. That's about taking care of your body. It's that simple. It's about putting in good, wholesome nutrients, those that were designed for humans to eat, not those that were processed and chemically altered. And also about moving, exercising. And the thing I always say is the mind and body, they are a team. And more importantly, the mind and body are your team. And if your team, any one member of your team is not playing at its fullest capability, then you as a team are suffering and you are not operating at what I like to call a peak level of performance, hence the name of my company. And then there's business. Business is multifaceted. There's sales, there's marketing, team building, scaling, systematizing, the list goes on. There are many facets of business to master. And the thing is those that I found are successful, like the young lady you are about to be introduced to on this show, have mastered all 3 of these areas. They've mastered them. And Terilynn is one such individual. And I cannot wait. It's going to be very soon, I promise, that we're going to bring her on. One of the things about successful people, there's so many things, but all you have to do is learn and model one person that has the results that you want. That's it. That's what I did. And Terilynn knows who I'm talking about. I had a mentor that I came to her facility with at one point. I said, I want what this young man has, and I modeled him. And that's why I'm achieving success I've never seen before in my life. All you have to do is model. It's simple. Isn't that easy? Isn't that great? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I'll make it, you hereby have my permission to model us. Copy. That's what it means. It's a fancy word for copy. Just copy success. And when it comes to success, another great trait of successful people is we love to read. And not just any book, but pertinent books that really make a difference in our life. And with that, we're going to segue over into a section I've appropriately named bookmarks.
Bookmarks. Born to read. Bookmarks. Ready, steady, read. Bookmarks. Brought to you by ReachYourPeakLibrary.com.
Yes, ReachYourPeakLibrary.com. And real quick, before we continue, take out a pad of paper and a pen and take notes. Rather than taking off and typing in website addresses, because we're going to be giving you some resources as the night goes on. Please resist the temptation to go elsewhere, because honestly, the magic happens, as they say, right here in the room. You do not want to miss Terilynn Werner and her amazing value that she is bringing very, very soon. We're going to have some fun, too, so don't get me wrong. This is going to be a blast. Stick with us. So reachyourpeaklibrary.com is literally a website I put together for you. It's my gift to all aspiring and even current and successful entrepreneurs to give you a place to go where I have actually sorted through and filtered many books down to a small list here of 40. There are more that I need to add here, but these 40 I've personally vetted to give you actual value, to have an impact in your life. I wouldn't put them here if they didn't have impact in my life. Many of them are business centric, some are personal development. It runs the gamut of different categories. So for you, the entrepreneur, no matter where you are in your walk with entrepreneurship, there are some books here for you. If you're not reading voraciously now, then consider getting in the habit right now. I found that out the hard way. There's a story at the top of this website. You can find all about that there. I'm not going to go into it here. I waited a long time in my life to become a voracious reader, and I'm so glad I started. I am so glad years ago, and now am consuming books left and right. This show, though, is not about me. This show is about our special guest expert, and with that, I think it's time we bring her on. What do you say? Yeah, I say let's do that. Here we go.
It's time for the Guest Expert Spotlight. Savvy, skillful, professional, adept, trained, big league, qualified.
And there she is, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only, Terilynn Werner. Yes, I'm so excited to have you on here, Terilynn. It's been so long since we've last seen each other. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. You've got me all pumped up just listening to you, just to let you know.
All right. Speaking of being pumped up, I mean, no one's more pumped than I am because I truly mean, and I can't wait to get into the details of this. We will in a moment. The results that you and Red both imparted upon myself and my wife, who came to the first event out at your facility, and I'm being coy for a reason. And then the second time with my son, it had profound impact on all of us, all three of us. And I can do nothing but say thank you for you and Red and what you guys have accomplished through your company called SOAR. I love that company. So real quick, I want to formally introduce you, Terilynn. But before I do that, I want to remind everyone watching and listening that's here live, we do this every show. Stay to the very end where you can find out how you can win a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort in Mexico. This is all compliments of my good friends at powertexting.com. Amazing, amazing platform. All entrepreneurs and business people should be using powertexting.com if you're not already. Terilynn began in human development and became a transformational trainer. She started working with teens up in Big Bear, California on the ropes course. This is an amazing course. And the teens, stole her heart. She closed her giftware manufacturing company in Beverly Hills. So that was a big decision, I do not doubt. And moved to Big Bear to work with youth. Yes. She realized that the parents of these youth needed as much growth as the teens. So she started working with corporations and adult groups throughout the country as well. Thank goodness she did, because I got to experience this. Today, her company SOAR provides programs indoors and out for schools, universities, leadership, and corporate groups, church groups, and many more. The theme always comes back to being in a relationship and being an authentic, courageous human being. With that, I want to now finally formally introduce Terilynn Werner. So blessed that you are here tonight. Can't wait.
Thank you.
Yeah, and one of the things I love to open up with on this show many times, Terilynn, the thing is that bio is phenomenal. It shows who you are, how you love people, how you love serving. You gave up a flourishing business in Beverly Hills, moved to the hills, the woods, literally. It's beautiful there. I see why you did it. But what a big shift. And the thing is, you're very successful. You have facilities in different areas of the country, and you're very successful at what you do. And I always wonder, okay, I read the bio. I can see on the surface what she's done, her accolades, her experience. But I love to get a little deeper and find out and this is true of everyone I've interviewed, is to find out what really gets you going, especially at the start of each day. So let's say you're waking up.
Yes.
You're getting up out of bed, you swivel over, your feet hit the floor, you're already going through it, I see it on your face, and then you're coming to, and if you're like me, you're a little groggy in the beginning, and you're starting to come to, and then you realize it's the start of a new day, and the awareness of everything starts, and then you begin going, I'm ready, I can't wait to take on the day, the drive kicks in, the motivation kicks in. For you, Terilynn, what are those thoughts that are going through your head? What is driving you and motivating you to get started each and every day to go serve more people?
Fantastic question, Brian. For sure, it is the thought that goes through my mind, and the question I ask myself is, if today were my last day, who am I? What do I want? What do I want to say happened? And to see the faces of the people, and knowing I have an opportunity to make a difference. It is a cup of coffee first, I cannot lie, and then the hiking boots out the front door. But that's what it is. And I'm on the planet with a purpose, and I have no doubt about that. And I've chosen that for sure.
And I can attest to that. Having been around you, there is no doubt you're positive. You ooze a positive presence always. I've even seen you, when we're in between, what shall I call them? Exercises? I don't know what to call them. Mm-hmm. While we're going through the rope course, I can look off and see you and Red having a chat, and I can see you smiling the whole time. You're just nonstop, even behind closed doors, a positive woman. And I get you're also a human being, and there are times where I'm sure you're not feeling that positive, but that's okay. It's all about maintaining it. And I'm just curious, is there anything you do specifically, like maybe routine-wise, maybe discipline-wise, maybe something you learned in the past that helps you maintain a positive, productive, and successful mindset, and to be able to sustain it on a regular basis? Is there anything you do to do that?
Sure, absolutely. And I think you kind of just alluded to it. And that I feel that if we base all of our action on the way we feel, guess what? We're going to be in big fat trouble, because not always is that cup of coffee exactly what I wanted as I rolled out of bed. So it's really important to have a commitment that is so passionate, and that exactly what the why. Never ever lose the why of what you're up to. And so that's really what gets me going. And sometimes I do have to kind of like bop myself in the head and say, okay, who cares? Let's do this. So
I love that. And the why, thank you for bringing that up. There's actually a process that you can go through. I've gone through it several times to determine what my why was. I went through it once. Okay, I know what my why is. I went through it again. Same thing. Went through it a third time, just out of curiosity. Would it change? Nope, it's the same. And for every person, it can be different. It's very unique to each individual. For me, my why I get out of bed, why I do this show, why I exist on this planet, is because of my wife. It came that way every single time. And I love her beyond words, beyond description, but that's my why. What is your why? You watching this show, you listening to this show, what is your why? The why that no matter what happens, you're now in this maybe you're on a new venture, your new business, and there's a lot of stress, a lot of unknowns, a lot of limiting beliefs, so many things are flying at you. What is that one why that you will, based on that why, you will never quit. You will never give up, because it's too important to you. To go forward. And so thank you. That's a powerful, powerful statement. I just want to expand on that a little bit, because it is that powerful. If you don't have a why, we go into a business, right, Terilynn? You made a big transition. I can imagine the turmoil going on at that moment in your head. And then for quite some time past it, did I make the right decision? Oh my gosh, I got to build this thing and everything that goes with it. But your why was obviously solid, or you probably wouldn't have made it to where you are today, because you did that. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago, and you're already very successful in a short period of time, relatively speaking. So it's obvious you have a very strong why. So that's a very good point. Thank you for bringing that up.
For sure.
I want to, ask you a little bit, before we go any further, about what you do, what you and Red do out there at SOAR, just to kind of frame it a little bit so people understand where you come from, how you love serving people, what results you've seen, the kind of people you cater to. I know that's a lot, but if you don't mind, I would love to hear more about SOAR, like what got you started, and then what is it? What does it entail? You know, that we've been talking about these rope courses. What is that? And then what kind of results have you seen transformation in people? Would that be okay?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. And this is exciting. So like you mentioned, I originally I came up to Big Bear to work with inner city youth. And I said, I refuse to work with adults. I don't even know if I like adults very much, but the kids I can handle, right? So I moved up to work with them. And as I was finishing with these kids, the parents would come and I'd take a look and go, ooh, we have another set, because we're sending these young people who we've just opened up a container. They've just made new commitments in their life. They've just learned all these tools. We're sending them home to their families. Families love you, but they don't always know what to do. So from there, I started working with a lot of corporations, a lot of leadership adult groups and judges and lawyers and Home Depot executives, that type of a thing. So that what we do is we work with organized groups, and it does, let's say, from middle school through high school up through college groups, again, then stepping into leadership groups, adults, and then corporations. So we really cross the entire gamut. And so these they could come in groups of 30. They could be coming in groups of bus of kids of 200. I have an amazing team of people. They are SOAR. I will tell you, they are it as far as I'm concerned. And there's about 30 of us. So the groups will come and we start with some activities like you mentioned that are all done like on the ground, and learning how to work as a team, developing leadership along the way. And the coolest piece, Brian, about it is that we're outdoors. Half the time people don't even know they're learning anything, because they're having so much fun, they're being challenged, and they don't realize that the way they're behaving and interacting is how they operate in life. And so our beautiful facilitators are trained to ask those questions. And sometimes the question could be as simple as this, and it's a great model. So write this one down, you guys, is what worked, what didn't, what's next? So with a group of kids, they may say, well, what worked was we got the ball in the bucket, but what didn't work is we didn't have a plan. And we talked on top of each other. That wasn't working. So moving into this next activity, what do you guys want to take with you as we build on this? And they'll answer the question, well, I think we should listen to each other. I think maybe a leader should rise up. We should have a plan. And there you go. So we're going to take that on to the next activity. So though that we do that in the front end of the day, and then we have a nice little lunch real quick, about 45 minutes. Then we suit up. And what that means to suit up is put on harnesses and helmets and ropes, and you have the opportunity with your team on the ground on your rope to climb maybe about 40 feet in the air. And those activities again are processed and debriefed. So you're not just jumping for a trapeze 40 feet in the air. We have you identify sometimes, what are you jumping into, but what are you leaving behind? And then to identify what that trapeze means to you. And then you go for it. And there, of course, you're looking down at your team at the ground and say, do you have me? So that's what we do. Everything is processed and debriefed. And I think the thing that SOAR does brilliantly, and I love it so much, is they transfer it into practical application. So when our groups leave the mountain or whatever site we're at, they don't have the question, well, why? That was really fun. What was that hula hoop about? Or why did I have to jump off of something? So we transfer it back into saying, for instance, what's something in your life that you really want? Well, I want a better relationship with my family. But I realized I had a hard time leaving that tree. I had a hard time embracing that fear, but I wanted it so bad. And today I got that trapeze. So it never gets old, ever, ever. So that's what we do.
Yeah, and I'm going through the memories as you're saying all that, and I'm just smiling ear to ear. And Kate Cutler, by the way, is watching and said, two amazing people with heart.
Hi, Kate.
She is one of the wonderful human beings that I got to experience this with. Yes. It was amazing both times. And both Kate and Mel, her husband, Mel is my mentor. He's an amazing young man. I cannot speak highly enough of the experience both times. They were both uniquely different, and both uniquely powerful. The emotions, so I don't want to scare people off. There were emotional times, but those are only emotions that come up within you if they're present. It's not like they're being evoked. There was at one point, I'm like a 6'2", kind of a big guy, and at one point I was literally bawling like a baby out of sheer gratitude and happiness, and it didn't bother me at all, in the least. I didn't know it was coming. It just hit. It just something that I needed to release. It was phenomenal. It had to do with my son directly. I remember it so well. And it was just such a golden, beautiful moment. And I was there amongst family, right? It's the people you're going through this with. You become tighter than ever. So this is phenomenal for corporations. It's phenomenal for, I don't know if you deal with families directly. I got to do this with family members, one each time. A separate family, once with my wife, once with my son. It was phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. And the exercise, they were fun. It was challenging. It stretched us, both not really physically sometimes, but mostly mentally. And that's what I loved about it, is there's a lot of, just so much, Terilynn. I mean, I could go on and on. The trust that you mentioned, you need to have trust in your teammates at times. And that's a great thing, because not everybody trusts other people. There's a lot of people that have, the ego is kind of big and they just won't let go of that ego.
Yeah.
And the result was just so profound, Terilynn, what you and Red do, and then the in-between talk. Oh gosh, so powerful. You know, you do the exercise, and then there's either you or Red or both taking you through those questions similar to what you said, and then going deeper. And you guys do it so soulfully, so lovingly, so genuinely. There's just no way to describe. I will love you both forever. It's just those. The first time was all it took. You had me at the first one, Terilynn.
I'm glad you came back for round 2, Brian.
Me too. That was wow, phenomenal. So yeah, I could talk about this in all evening long. SOAR is the name of the company. We'll give you the contact information before. It's SOAR Team, I think, is the full name. And we'll give you the contact information. Stick with us. Don't go Googling it. So go ahead and write down SOAR, SOAR. That's an acronym, I believe. It's all caps, and then Team, TEAM. And then go look at that later. We'll give you contact info here in just a moment. I want to dig deeper and get back on track with business and entrepreneurialism, and how you achieved your success. Everyone achieves success in their own way, oftentimes similar ways though. And I'm always very intrigued on how that path develops and what worked for you personally versus someone else. I mean, it's only your life and it worked for you. So what was that? So when it comes to developing skills as an entrepreneur, if you were to pick 3, the top 3 that you have developed, what were the top 3 skills that you developed that you needed to become a successful entrepreneur?
Okay. Vision. I would say for sure having a vision that you can taste and feel and wear and scream about nonstop. So it's more than just an idea. It's that vision. And to the degree that you actually see it already done, and now we work backwards. And it sounds crazy, but I saw this company, and then I actually saw the facilitators, the whole thing, and said, okay, this is something's happening here, because it was burning in my soul. So then I went through the steps and let go of how I felt. Like I said, there were times, oh my goodness, I was so afraid, like, what the heck have I done? I've stepped into, and that feeling of, well, now I can't get out, which was probably the best thing that ever happened, because I was in all 4s. And then I shifted to the get to, Brian, and the get to, I think, is a really big piece that you don't have to do it. You can go work for somebody else. You can do something, whatever, go sell real estate, whatever it is that you want to do, but to keep committed to that and always do it as a get to. So when your feet hit in the morning, you don't have to get up. You get to get up, because there's good stuff waiting for you. So that was a big piece of it. I love people. So my why is very, very clear. I see a bigger view of this world. I believe that people are good, without a doubt. Do I think their behavior necessarily lines up with their goodness? No, I don't. Not because they're bad people. I believe after working for 25 years doing this and, hundreds and thousands of people later, that people want the same thing. And that is to be in relationship so badly, so badly. That's where the tears come from, Brian, because they want it so bad and they get out there and they start getting a little taste of it and they don't know how. So to always, no matter what, hang on to that why, because that's what's going to drive you. And you can make the most amazing difference. And I say it kind of big, but change the planet, and that's what people are looking for, to feel significant, to feel special, to live their greatness, and to be in relationship in an authentic way where you can feel it, that there's not that void. So again, that you can tell and again, I've been doing this for a long time, but that I know it's like, it's a knowingness and it's a passion, and I have chosen it as my responsibility. And it's so fun to say because it's my responsibility. Till I'm off this planet, I am feeling responsible to make that difference because of the gifts I've been given, for sure.
I was taking notes. You weren't supposed to end yet.
I can keep going, believe me.
I love it. Oh my. So please, if you're taking notes, if you haven't been taking notes, please do, and write this down, because this is amazing value. I mean, 25 years success, just obviously huge success, and vision, actually seeing it done. How many of you have looked at the end result and said, yes, this is where I want it to go. This is where it's going to go. Not where I want it to go. It's going to go. And I love how you said, and then work it backwards and see it in your soul. And, it's awesome to take that vantage point. I haven't actually heard this in quite some time, and it's a nice reminder, whenever you're visualizing something, to see it at the result at which you deem it to be successful, that you're looking for, the end goal. And really, see it, feel it, smell it, taste it, everything. Put yourself in the moment. I love that. And then, get to instead of have to. Oh my goodness. I preach this all over the place to my apprentices. And I say, look, if I hear them say, I have to do this, let's consider reframing that. And so I use a story of, I have to go do the dishes. Right. Even then I'll say, I just said I have to. Okay. In my mind, I'll say, I get to. And that totally changes the whole landscape, because now it's a blessing, not a curse. It's like, absolutely, I have dishes, which means, I have something. I have a kitchen, and that means I have a sink, and I might have a dishwasher. In my case, we do. That means, depending on your situation, I have a house or I have a place to live in. I'm blessed. And all these wonderful things start coming up, even subconsciously, if you just say it and don't even think about it. It just changes your whole frame, your whole mindset. You become a more positive individual on a regular basis automatically by simple reframes, just like Terilynn mentioned. Say, I get to, rather than I have to. And I love how you also said, it's my responsibility. Oh,
more than, Brian, I can't tell you how exciting it is to say that. And it was just recently that I really got it. And nothing would stop me. It doesn't matter how I feel. Like I said, it's so exciting. And the get to and all of that is fun. It put the joy back in, it puts peace in there, and it's fun, doggone it. And we're, this is our life. We don't get today back, right? So let's have some fun while we're doing all this. So yeah, it's a neat feeling to have that.
Yeah, fun. What a concept. You're giving us the permission to have fun, Terilynn? Come on.
Yes, for sure.
I thought it was this 4-letter word, work, but no, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's so important to find something that you can have fun in. Even if you're doing something that isn't inherently fun, find a way to make it fun. I always say this. I brought my kids up this way. I said, I've been around too many serious people. They're serious at all times, and they're just dead on, and I'm like, man, that's almost not human. And so I tell my kids, there's a time and a place to be serious, and there's a time and a place to be jovial and have a good time. And there's far fewer times for the serious part than there is the happier part. So enjoy your life. Yes. Be serious when it's necessary, and only then. But do be serious. There are times when you need to be serious. And I want them to understand that, but I want them to understand, more importantly, life is about joy, about having fun. And enjoying every moment if you can. And we can, right, Terilynn? We have choice.
Yeah, we have choice in everything that we do. Yep.
And that's the key. Everyone goes, oh, my life sucks. Oh, it's that and the other. It's like, well, you chose for your life to suck because that's your own internal representation of where you are today. You can easily right now, at this moment, say, my life's pretty fantastic. Actually, I am above the ground. I'm not 6 feet under.
When I work with teens, they'll say, "Oh, I'm so bored," and then they want to wring my neck when I say, "You know what? It's because you're really boring." Right? And they're like, "Did she really just say that to me?"
And that is one of the many traits I love about you is, you get right up. I mean, right here, and you like look into. I can just speak for my own. We did compare notes, but it's like you can look into our soul. And you have this unbelievable ability to really get people very quickly. And I remember you were looking at me, and you actually looked back at Red and looked at him and go, are you seeing what I'm seeing? And he's like nodding. I'm like, what are they talking about? This is kind of freaking me out in a cool way. I was like excited. What are they doing? And then when you told me what you told me, I was like, how did you know that? Oh my God. So it's deeper than just a rope course. There's so much to what the SOAR team has to offer. It's hard to put it into words, and I just recommend everyone reach out and connect with Terilynn and Red after this show is over. Write down the information, connect with them, and get more information about what this is all about. You will not regret it in any way. And you can tell just by talking to her right now, looking at her, listening to her. She's a wonderful person. She loves people. They're going to just do anything that's the best for you. That's all they have in their mind. She's responsible for you to right your relationship. She's responsible. That's her. She's saying, I'm responsible for this. And she takes it very seriously. And I know this firsthand twice. I'm getting goosebumps again just thinking about all of it encompassed. Everything, the camaraderie, the team play, just the outpouring of love, you, Red, your unbelievable, undeniable care of other human beings is just off the charts. I wish there were more people like you on this planet, many more. Just love you guys dearly. Let's see. You mentioned some keys to being successful, and maybe can we, I guess, I don't know if it's a chunk up or chunk down or sideways chunk, but when it becomes, I mentioned in the beginning there are patterns to success, and I found 3 of them. It's mind, body, business. And that doesn't mean those are the only patterns. I just found that being a commonality. There are other ingredients to the recipe for success. Yes. Do you personally, Terilynn, believe there is some sort of pattern or formula to becoming a successful entrepreneur? And if so, could you outline one?
Shifting our thinking of what we're going to get from somebody or anybody, and to ask ourselves, who do I get to be? What can I contribute? What can I give? And I was thinking about, someone said about Einstein can't even figure this one. It couldn't figure this one out either, but it comes around. The abundance and all of it comes around when we're operating from that place. One of the reasons I can see, like you were mentioning, into the soul, and I'm very humbled when you say that or when others say that, is the willingness to look at that human being that is standing in front of you deeply. They're going to tell you everything you need to know, but to be so present. And it doesn't matter if you're asking someone to invest in your organization, or you're enrolling somebody in your company. People know, they don't necessarily know what they're seeing, but if your ego is in the way and you're having a conversation really based in fear, that's what comes across. It comes across as inauthentic. It comes across as doubting your own self, doubting your own vision, instead of being so present with another human being. And it feels so good to do it, to be able to connect. And again, like I said, all of our groups, and it doesn't matter young or old, when I ask them, what is it? Why are you here? What are you looking for? They're saying relationship, connection. But how can we connect unless we are authentic? So being an entrepreneur, you're going to be in front of a lot of people, and with a vision that's pounding in your heart. Get present. Get so present. And again, get your ego out of the way, because it doesn't serve you in anything. And it keeps you from really, truly knowing who you are and living your greatness. And we all, as far as I'm concerned, I believe when we embrace it, we're all made for greatness. So the question is, what is that to eat for each of it? Each person has their idea of that. And to never stop dreaming. When you do a vision, don't go little, go big. Why not? So, and surround. The other thing, I have a whole bunch of things that really work. The other one is your tribe. To really look at who you are surrounded by, who you're bringing in as what we call our friends or our mentors. And just like you were saying, you have a beautiful male mentor, people who want you to win, that are excited about you being successful, that care about you as a human being. That will be honest. That's the other thing. It'll call you out. That kind of a tribe that says, okay, Terilynn, that didn't go so well. You probably don't want to do that one again. That kind of a person. So I think that's extremely important, and to have somebody who holds you accountable, because there are times that we go sideways, and to have that person who says, okay, you said you're going to do these last 5 things. Are you on number 3 yet? And what's in your way? What's the excuse you've come up with? What's your roadblock? Let me be with you in that. So I think those are all really key components to it.
I love them all. Accountability. That's one of the things. I used to be in the fitness industry. I recently transitioned, but it holds true no matter where you are. You need an accountability partner, at least one. And oftentimes that can be a coach. And I highly recommend hiring a coach, paying for a coach, because that's when you take it seriously, is when you have skin in the game. And then who do I get to be? That's so wonderful how you said that. And what can I give? Take it away from what am I going to get from this? And there's an exercise I started doing, and now it's default, that to help others that might not be there yet. When you're, say, in a circle of entrepreneurs, you're at a networking event, a seminar, a workshop, a boot camp, etc., and you're at a break, and everyone's around the circle, and you're just itching and dying to tell everybody what you do because you need to get the business, right? And the thing is to resist that and instead ask how you can serve them. What is it you do, and how may I help you?
Yes.
Right? And then listen. Don't just keep thinking, what am I going to say? How am I going to react? And tell them what I do. Wait for them to open that door. They will. It works every single time. And it's a wonderful thing. And what you say is absolutely true. It always comes back. Just that attitude, whether it's in that situation or others. Always look to what you can do for others. And then circle back. It'll come back. It just does. But don't do it with that in mind. Don't do it thinking, well, if I go this way, I'm going to get it back. Do it without even knowing it's coming back, knowing there's nothing coming your way. Do it completely pure. And then, oh my gosh, look out. It's amazing.
And I will tell you, and I know this for sure, so it's a little selfish on my part, I cannot lie, because I get so much joy when I contribute. I just do. So I'm all filled up, and what I get back is knowing that I contributed to somebody else. So I do get some, no matter how you slice that banana.
That's phenomenal. Yeah. And look, ladies and gentlemen, this is Success Defined. Terilynn Werner, listen to her. She is telling you these are the recipes, the ingredients for the recipe of success that has taken her and catapulted SOAR to all new heights, and continually growing and getting higher all the time. Authentic relationships. Oh, there's so much going on here. Friends, who you hang out with. Yes, that's big. I didn't literally do it, but I did fire a friend several years ago. It just became toxic. Actually, 2 of them now that I think about it. And I still love them dearly. It's just I didn't need to hang out with them anymore because it became toxic and it wasn't serving my purpose or my family. And it wasn't. You just got to move on. You have to, and it can be tough. But and I love that you guys are honest. You are always honest during these events that we went to. Of yours, you guys were brutally honest with us in a loving way.
Yes.
And that all that did was get the results we needed. That as an entrepreneur, isn't that really the important part, Terilynn? Is not really the pieces that get you there, but the results at the end are the most important. So even if your feelings might be hurt a little bit along the way, but you got the results at the end, guess what? They're going to love you. Like I love Terilynn in red. They're going to love you immensely for taking them through that process. At the moment, it may not be comfortable. It's like, not really. I was thinking disciplining your kids because we weren't being disciplined, but you do that from love to correct a behavior that is not serving them. That's it. You're just correcting a behavior, helping them to correct it themselves. That's what you and Red do. And it's amazing. It's just, So I knew this was going to happen, Terilynn, that you were going to just ooze value throughout this show. And I appreciate you so much. We're far from done. I just want to point that out real quick because I so appreciate you. I was so excited and looking forward to this. And so happy that Kate came on, and hopefully Mel's there by her side watching as well, because I love them dearly as well. Another thing you have done very successfully, very masterfully, is you've created your organization, the people that are around your facilitators, I think you refer to them as, and they are the ones that are carrying the torch and actually implementing the rope courses with your clients today, right across the country, different areas. How do you find these people? How do you find the right people to bring into your organization? These are like ones that truly care about the organization that you do. Because in your case, I know from going through it, they have to care about it as much as you do in order for your clients to get the results like I got. How did you do that? How did you find those people?
Well, this is my favorite part of the show. Just to let you know, I have the best team ever. And like I mentioned, there's 30 of them. And what we're looking for is not someone who has technical skills about how to work with ropes and harnesses. We're looking for people who wear their heart on their sleeve. That I love this saying is that when that client shows up, we say, let's get naked, right? And that means authentic and available and kind and compassion and just really bringing them in. So, we run ads just like a normal organization. And a lot of our people are teachers that they just kind of gravitate towards this kind of work. But in the interview process that is extremely unique, and we warn them before they get there, we're not going to ask them where they want to be in 5 years. That's not the kind of interview. Actually, when they walk in, we seat them at a desk and give them a piece of paper and some crayons. And we ask them a question and ask them to please draw it. And then from there, they present this picture. And of course, it's a heartfelt question. And then they present the picture, and then we take the interview from there. And we're looking for authentic people who want to be a contribution to people who believe that we really can make a difference and change this world. And the interview goes to that level. And we don't hire everybody that we interview. And there are just certain people that are suited. And again, my team, I hope every single one of them are listening. They probably are. They have that same burning vision to making a difference with people. And at the end of our programs, as we do our debrief, we sit and it's hard because we do have to go home sometimes, but we ask the question, okay, your highlights. What were your highlights? And the tears that just come out of the staff saying, I had a little boy today that was extremely overweight. We got to the team wall. He didn't want to go. And he said he couldn't do it. And the team behind him said, I believe that you can. And then my voice came in as the facilitator. And I said, you know what? I think today is your day. And I have no doubt if you surrender to this team, that you're going to go over that team wall. And doggone it, this child's life changes as they surrender into their arms and to go over that team wall. So those stories are nonstop. And that's what they want to talk about at the end of the day. And it happens with adults too, Brian, like you mentioned. It's not just with the kids, when the kids rock, by the way, but it's also with adults that may have realized that they had sunk into being inauthentic, that they were based in fear. And they say, that's why I can't even keep a relationship. And the tools that you gave me and the fact that you said that I'm really a nice person today and that you saw my magnificence, That's a voice of a staff. That's a voice of a person who cares. So that's, if I were to say who is my team, there are a bunch of people that care. Like, no kidding, they get to. And the other thing I love is when if they're not working often enough, they'll say, "I need to get a SOAR fix," is what they call it. And I'm thinking, yeah, I would love a SOAR fix too. Yeah, so that's how we find them. Again, people with hearts on their sleeve, Brian.
That is remarkable, Terilynn, especially the last part. What does that say about your leadership? What does that say about what you have created, that they want so desperately to work more? They want to come back and get another fix of that wonderful thing they get to do, and that is give back and to serve and to help young men, young gentlemen like that to overcome obstacles. I mean, just to be a part of it, whether they're the facilitator or not, I'm sure they get a great fulfilling joy from it. And the one word I loved you said as a key word is surrender. You know, that that speaks volumes in so many ways. It's surrender from your ego, surrender from the way you always thought it should be done, surrender to allow others to help you. So many things that can go in that are so appropriate for what you do for people. Oh my goodness. And the fact that you onboard them or interview them by starting out to see what makes them tick from the ticker, right from the heart.
Absolutely.
And that's amazing. And you don't look so much at their technical abilities. And it's interesting because I now have 4 apprentices. I'm looking for a 5th, and I have a similar approach, and it works very well. There's got to be some sense of technical skills. They don't have to be the exact ones I'm looking for, because if they have that, if they have the heart, if they have the drive, if they have the desire, they'll learn much faster than someone who already knows it, who has no heart in doing anymore. And they'll surpass. It's happened. That's why I say that. I've had an apprentice that came in and just crushed it, had no video editing experience at all, and created the most amazing videos that I had ever seen, from no experience to superstar, because she had all those qualities you're talking about. So that I'm reiterating that only for people that are looking to scale their business to, consider this approach. And and maybe if Terilynn's willing to share her secret later about what those questions are to draw those pictures, that would be awesome too, because there might be somebody sitting across from me right now that might be a little curious about that. Because I was like, oh, come on, say one. But I don't want you to. I don't want you to give that away here. Maybe later when we're talking after the show. I'm just having fun. You have an amazing culture. Obviously, that's what that's what gets people so motivated to really kick butt, not just for you. That's the thing, right, Terilynn? You're the leader. They're not there to kick butt for you, even though they love you, and they are partly there to get your approval. They're more there for the people, to give them the result, the change, the shifts in their lives, because once they experience it, it's probably like a drug, a legal drug that you have, the only way to replace it is to get that SOAR fix, right? Right. And so it's amazing what you do. Here's a big one.
Okay.
You've had many glorious. I cannot imagine how many just wonderful moments in your business doing this. Do you have a story of what you would consider to be the absolute to date? And this isn't to compete with anyone else and say it's a better moment than anything else. What has been your most satisfying moment in your business to date?
Oh my gosh, that's a tough, because there's so many are going through my head. I think applicable to the corporate world, I think that applies to probably a lot of the listeners today, is, oh my goodness. So it was a small organization of men and women, just average men and women. And they came out to a ropes course that we have in Malibu, and up goes, and I have to describe this because it kind of makes me chuckle. So Mr. Hummer, in his logo, shirt with his cool baseball hat and the whole thing, that the whole thing. So he climbs up this 40-foot pole, and he's going up step by step, and the team's below on the ropes, and I'm standing below watching, thinking, this is going to be interesting how he goes about it. Is he going to scale it quick? Is and not feel anything? What is he going to do? So up goes the CEO, and he gets to the top, and you're supposed to stand up on a very small disc. And he turns around and he sits down.
Hmm.
And he looks down at his team. And he has this kind of sick look on his face. And he says, I have a favor to ask you. And he looks down, he says, I'm going to cry. Oh, I'd like to climb down. I like to climb down. At this moment, I realize I pushed through everything and always was seeking approval. And today I want your approval by allowing me to climb back down this pole and just be a regular human being that doesn't have to be Mr. Hummer CEO. That team starts clapping their brains out. They were so excited. And that's what they wanted. They wanted to connect with this man. They didn't care about his wealth or his looks or his Hummer. They wanted to connect and be a part of something. And, down he came and into their arms he went. But that was many, many years ago. But for some reason, that really stuck out to me. That was awesome. It was so awesome.
Such a powerful story. I mean, that's tugging on the emotional heartstrings here because I remember that poll.
Yeah.
I remember you specifically because I don't want to give too much away, but you already mentioned it's a 40-foot pole. And I made it to that top little bitty disc thing. I don't know why you call it that. So, man, I was like, that's it when I got up there. And then, wait, I got to turn? Oh, come on now. And I just remember the everything, my legs and everything were just like crazy. And it went on for a little while, and you masterfully waited just the right amount of time, and you looked up. You were looking up the whole time, but you said, Brian, breathe. Just breathe. And I did that, and immediately the pole stopped. And I was like, oh, man, this is awesome. Because before that moment, climbing that pole, I thought I was afraid of heights.
Right.
I thought I was afraid of heights. Red, actually, after I came down, clarified that I wasn't actually afraid of heights. I was more afraid of falling than I was of the height I was at. And I was like, holy moly, he's absolutely right.
Absolutely. Sure.
Absolutely right. I was like, man, that's been a game changer. That's why I'm able to go up to the Eiffel Tower and stand at the top and, just be a little bit of fear in the very beginning, but just for a microsecond, then I'm like, oh, I'm good. And because now I know I'm not going to fall, I'm good. I love being up high. It's fun. It's a great view.
We call that embracing the fear. I don't know if the fear, people say, well, why are you here? I'm here because I'd like to get rid of my fear. We just laugh. Well, we probably can't give you that today, but what we can is the opportunity to embrace that fear to propel you forward. And it sounds like that is what you did, Brian.
Yeah. It helps you to push through it.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't disappear. You're right. That's fantastic.
It's not going anywhere.
No, but thankfully,
I would be a gazillionaire if I could get rid of everybody's fear.
Well, it's thankfully. I mean, some of those are like instinct and they're good fears to have. It's like I shouldn't be up here. This isn't safe. There's the fear. Okay, thank you, fear. I'm going to get out of this spot. I'm being chased by a lion. I should have fear to run. Those are good.
That's when our ego is okay, right?
Yeah. The cool thing it taught me was you can break through those barriers that you used to think were so powerful and had you in their grip. It's like, you know what? That wasn't that bad. That was actually in the way you guys do it, it was fun. And then exhilarating when you get past it and hit the end of that. Which that part was a lot of fun. I'm not going to give that part away. That was too good. The ending of that is amazing. So if you want to know what the ending is to a 40-foot pole, stand on top, ying with your legs, make a turn, and then there's an ending. If you want to know what that is, call Terilynn and Red and find out what that is. They won't tell you either because you have to go and experience it, and I hope you do. That was the defining moment for me, and then the rest was also I would love to recant everything we did, but it was so fun, and so results generating, and so humanizing. Just, gosh, I don't know, all the adjectives that come to mind are just, they seem not to do it justice. There's just so many great ones. My goodness. Gosh, we're already 5 minutes away from the end. I cannot believe it. When it comes to being an entrepreneur, you've been doing this quite a long time.
Yes.
And if you were to think of that compared to maybe not being an entrepreneur, maybe working for someone else, if you could, this is kind of another challenge, if you could in one word for everyone watching and listening, characterize your life as an entrepreneur, what would that just one word be?
Okay, purpose. Purpose.
Purpose.
Yes.
Whew, that hits to the core. I love it. I mean, that just hits to the core of you. That's what I mean. And it's a great thing because it's so, it's obviously you. There's no doubt. There is one more deeper question I want to ask you. And this is something that I ask every guest who comes on the show. It's really, I'm so blessed to get to do what I do. Terilynn, you have no idea. It is amazing because of people like you. Amazing, amazing, wonderful people like you. And that is, I ask a question, the same question, and the answer is really interesting. I'll just say that. And before I do that, because that'll be the closing question of the show, I want to first make good on my promise earlier to let everyone know how they can win that vacation stay, 5-night stay at a 5-star resort in Mexico, luxury resort, compliments of powertexting.com. And here, if you're watching, you see it on the screen. This is for you watching live. What you want to do is take out your phone and first enter the phone number 661-535-1624, and then down in the message area, right where you always text your buds and your family, type in the word PEAK, peak, and then hit that little send icon that's there on your texting application. Go ahead and do that right now. 661-535-1624. Enter that phone number and then punch in the word PEAK, P-E-A-K, and hit the send button so you can get the opportunity to win a trip we give away every single week to a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort in Mexico. And I promise you one thing. I promise you that you will not be snared into a timeshare or anything like that when you arrive. It is nothing like that. And the reason I know is the owner, the founder of powertexting.com, who sponsors this and gives us this privilege to give these vacations away, tested it himself with his daughter and reported back it was the most amazing trip they had had together in a long, long time. And there were no shenanigans going on the back, so to speak. So back to the woman of the hour, Terilynn Werner, founder of SOAR Team, amazing, amazing, amazing woman, amazing power couple with Red. Red is her significant other, I guess. Can we say that?
Oh, he's significant. Yeah, he's here to stay. he's my hero. And I say I'm not even joking. Oh yeah, no, he's my husband.
Yeah, and he's my hero too because he was often holding the safety harness rope line when we were
right.
up in heights we shouldn't be normally, but it was awesome. I never ever once, I'll just say this, and he can probably hear, I never once felt that my life was in danger or that I would even get injured. And I knew I'm not a small dude. I'm like 6'2", 230, close to 230. And I could jump and know he was at my back and do all the things that we did. And so that was a wonderful comfort to have this big lumbering dude named Red with his big red hair. And, I was like, oh, he's got everybody. We're good.
Yeah.
So it's a very safe thing that you do. I want to throw that out there for anyone who might be curious. 40-foot pole, how safe is it? Very. Oh, my gosh. They take this seriously. Terilynn and Red, SOAR Team does. And they would never put you in harm's way. I know that. It's too much at stake in so many different ways. It just wouldn't happen. So know that you're safe, know that you're going to have great results, and give her a call, and we're going to give you that contact information. I promise we're still doing it, but I want to get this one last question in before we do that. And here's the thing, Terilynn, to kind of ease the moment in case there's any trepidation whatsoever. I don't think there is. You look pretty calm. Here's the thing. With this question, there is no such thing as a wrong answer. It is impossible. And the reason is because it's very unique to you, the individual. Yes. And to put it in a different light, the only correct answer is your answer. So it doesn't matter. Now, just let go. And here's the thing. If it takes a moment to come up with the answer, cool. Don't worry about it. Just relax, like you know how to do. And if it comes immediately, then say what it is. It's just going to be unique to you. It's phenomenal. Are you ready?
I am so ready.
Fantastic. I can't wait. This is one of my favorite parts of the show. All right, here we go. Terilynn Werner.
Yes.
How do you define success?
when I'm full of joy, when I know people are winning around me, when my family's happy, and when I'm living my greatness, Brian. And I think we all know when we're living our greatness and when we're not. It's when I'm living my greatness.
Deep. And I didn't even mention this. No two people have answered that exactly the same way, and neither did you. I mean, at some point there has to be someone that answers it the same way. That's what I love about this question. It is so unbelievably unique to each individual. And, par for the course, you along with every other one, it was not about money.
No.
Those that are more scarcity mindset, that are more in the beginning of their entrepreneur walk, might say, well, I'll be successful when I make my first mill. It might be money centric.
Yes.
And even when or if they say that, that's still not the real reason, is it? It's, what does money provide you? It provides you the liberation, the freedom, and the power to serve more people.
Yes.
To change more lives. Yes. Not only yours, not for the nice cars and great houses and whatever it is that you personally desire, not you, Terilynn, but everyone watching and listening. It's really, to me, that's the essence of a true entrepreneur, is someone who wants to serve, because I've not met a successful entrepreneur that does not have that in their blood. Successful entrepreneur being the key, successful being the key word there. Yes. Those that are on their path to become successful are learning. Some of them are learning. I need to shift it from what am I going to get, like you said earlier, Terilynn, to how can I serve? How can I give? What can I do to help them? And once that happens, watch out. You're going to see magnificent changes in your business. That's why I love everything you've said tonight, Terilynn. And I want to give folks a way to connect with you, to really, and really people, when Terilynn gives you this information, connect with them, be respectful, know that they are professionals at what they do, and know that she has a service that gives results, that no matter what, if you're a fit and you decide to go forward, which you should, I highly recommend it, no matter what the cost, no matter what the location, no matter where you're coming from, do whatever it takes to get there, to soar with her and her team. Terilynn, how can people best get in touch with you to make that initial conversation happen?
Okay, thank you. Info, the best way is really an email. Then it gives me an opportunity to look at that, who you are as a group. And so when I do call you back, then we can talk about what you're looking for and all that. So it'd be info, INFO, at SOAR, SOAR, like a bird. So info at SOARteam.net. And the phone number is 909-866-7627. If you forget that, it's 866-SOAR, SOAR. So yeah, and please, I would love to hear from you and talk about what it is you're looking for. I think that we could provide that.
Yeah, and if they have any blessing and luck like I did, they get to do it in Big Bear, which is such a beautiful place. I'm sure Malibu is too. A Big Bear, and oh my goodness, what a gorgeous setting you guys have there. A pristine like mirror lake there. Beautiful woods. You smell nothing but nature, which is pine and fresh air, and it's cooler than where I live right now, which is brutally hot. It's 102 today here in Lancaster in the desert, and it's 85 or so. You say you're going through a heat wave of your own, and I just thought, come on.
Right, about 85 exactly.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for everything, Terilynn. My goodness, I can't believe we've hit the bewitching hour, but we have, the end. I cannot express my gratitude for you anymore, I don't think. I'll try. I'll do my best because I still want to. For both you and your husband, Red, you guys are phenomenal. You're changing lives. Continue to do so for as long as you desire, that you both desire. Please, because you offer something that is such a gift. That's the best way to say it. You offer a gift, both of you collectively, your entire organization. Thank them again on behalf of myself and everyone that's gone through there. So appreciate you. Gosh, I just want to keep going all night, but we do have to call it at some point and respect those that are watching and listening. Any last parting words before we call it a night there, Terilynn?
Yeah, I think that I want everybody to write this one down. It's because it's not rocket science, but it's really important to put it down. Love your neighbor as yourself. Everything you do, love your neighbor as yourself. And that's just start there. Just start there. It's not rocket science, and then build on that.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so very much. All right, well, that is it for now. As much as I want to carry this out for another 2 or 3 hours, because I easily could, and I know Terilynn could too. I want to say once again, thank you again, Terilynn. Thank you all for watching and listening. We had a good audience tonight. And for those of you that watch and listen after the show, please be sure to reach out to Terilynn and Red through info@soarteam.net at the email address info@soarteam.net, or call 909-866-SOAR, SOAR, or if you want the number, it's 7627 at the end. Thanks once again, Terilynn, and all watching and listening. Until next time, be blessed, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye now.
Good night.
Thank you for watching and listening. This has been the Mind Body Business Show with Brian Kelly.